Hello, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. And we're still on our PMO series, Project Management Office series. And I think this is episode 6 of setting up a PMO. So, yeah, we're setting up a PMO. We have kind of explored a few things that is, I think, establish the reason for setting up a PMO. So in setting up a PMO, we should be kind of working towards solving a problem. We should have a purpose. And I think I gave the example of budgeting challenges. So how we're managing our budgeting and how we're tracking the value that we're getting from money that's being spent. I went into a little bit of detail around what's a pound, what value are we getting for every pound we're spending, and if that's what we want to be getting as an organization. One other thing I think I might have mentioned previously, briefly, but I just want to reiterate on this episode is leadership support, executive support. So in setting up a PMO, we should get the executive level, and when I say executive, I mean executive level support to be able to drive the value that we want to derive from getting the PMO. So, and these could, say for instance, this is not for the executive, for the leadership to come in as a dictator, no, is so that the behaviors, the right behaviors can be seen from the leadership side, and then it can come down to other parts of the organization. And when I say dictatorship or kind of authoritarian type of leadership, people can do things out of fear, yes, but it doesn't really last long. It doesn't really last long. When you're not there, then they might not do what they're supposed to do. But when we take the longer route, we take the time to make people understand why we're doing what we're doing, influencing them, then over time, it turns into a culture, and then when you're not there, people will still do the right thing because they know why they're doing it. They're not doing it because someone has told them to do it. So working very hard to build that culture organically would help. And even if the setting up of the PMO is your idea, so you've come into the organization and you've suggested setting up the PMO. When you're speaking with the leadership team, the executive team to get their support, you are asking questions. You are asking questions to validate, to confirm, to ascertain, to get an idea of what good will look like from the leadership side. There's this tendency for us to just want to go out and just reel out why they should do it. That sometimes come across as you're speaking to them and there could be a defense. So asking a lot of questions, get them talking, understand their fears, understand why they haven't had, they understand some of the challenges that they might be experiencing, and then you can use that to shape why you want to set up the PMO. And even if it's the leadership, is the executive, is the organization that have asked you to set up the PMO, the same thing applies. Go to them again and ask questions. So if you're the one setting up a PMO, you're asking them questions about what they think they can get out of this and what some of the challenges they've experienced in the past and could be, and you'll be thinking within your mind how you think the PMO can help resolve some of those challenges. If it's the leadership team that have come up with this idea, you go back to them with questions again and try to understand where they're coming from, because oftentimes it could be that they have an understanding of what problem a PMO will solve, and then the PMO does not eventually solve that problem, because the PMO might not be able to solve that problem, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And that happens in so many aspects of our lives. When we want to achieve something, what we think we want to achieve, actually, it is our own idea of what we think the outcome will be. That might not be an objective outcome. That might not be what would happen eventually. But getting people to understand what's in their head. So say, for instance, they want to set up a PMO to make people happier. That might not be a good example, but I just use that as an example. A PMO might be able to help some people happier, but there are other things that could be done to get people happier. If they want to set up a PMO to make people come to work early, a PMO might not be able to do that. So if you put in a system for that kind of thing, people can just find a way around it. But looking at more strategic things, so PMO is good for setting a strategic direction for the organization. So setting up a PMO to resolve, to tackle organizational strategic challenges would be a good idea. Okay, I think I'll just stop there for today, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.